All right. Hey, welcome back. It is time for our monthly visit with Andy Luedecke from myperfectfranchise.com. That's him that will pop up when he starts speaking. This is Gabe DeArmond. You probably recognize me. But Andy, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Gabe. How you doing, man?
I'm hanging in. I've been thinking the last couple of weeks. I don't want to speak for your choice of careers. I don't know how you do financially. I wish I would have been a football coach. Like, what the hell was I thinking, man? I would call plays for $95 million. In fact, all I want is 1 year. You can fire me after year one. I'm good.
Yeah, they make a ton of money, but quality of life is a little bit of a challenge there. So I kind of respect Mario Cristobal, even though he got a big salary going to Miami. I love the fact that he's really going home to be with family, and that's a priority to him. It's kind of cool because I know these coaches, they've really got to sacrifice a lot to earn those big bucks.
Well, that's why I said I only want to do it 1 year. But also credit to you. That's the first time respect has been used in the way that Miami handled its coaching search. So, I don't know if my bosses are anything like Miami's. I may have already been replaced, and I'm doing this after they've hired my replacement, and they just haven't told me about it.
Yeah, well, but hey, there wasn't an AD to do it right to call Oregon, right? So like they were kind of shooting from the seat of the pants or whatever. So I guess that's their excuse. But yeah, I did read that they didn't really kind of follow the chain of command properly there.
Yeah. So I want to, like a lot of times we start this talking more about business and stuff, but you're a big college football fan, and the two biggest college football stories are two of the biggest in the last week, kind of are in your atmosphere as a Texas fan. So I want to start with the one that probably made you extremely happy, which is everyone who is an Oklahoma Sooner fan acting as if Lincoln Riley is now Benedict Arnold because he took a different job. So just being on the other side of that, I would assume you enjoyed those 48 hours or so.
Yeah, well, so as a Texas fan, we like to, we like to be proud of our own team, but right now we can't do that, right? So we've kind of relegated to become like Aggies, is what we say, because we're kind of having to feel the good vibes of other people's demise or whatever. So yes, that was a great thing. I think Lincoln Riley is the most hated person in the state of Oklahoma now, and really of all the coaching changes, I think that USC hiring Riley was the biggest short-term needle mover of the bunch.
Yeah, totally agree. And he didn't even have to really adopt a new accent to go out to California like Brian Kelly did. So good news for him. So here's the other one I wanted to talk to you about, because you mentioned when we were talking real quick before we hit record, you mentioned name, image, and likeness. So I saw a story last night that there is some organization in Texas that is basically saying if you play offensive line at the University of Texas, you are going to get $80,000 a year. There's another organization. So apparently anyone who plays offensive line at Texas is now going to make $150,000 a year as a college football player. I don't know, man. Thoughts? Like, this is nuts.
I can't stand it. I hope and pray that this doesn't ruin our college football fanatic experience. All of this stuff going on, because like you said, yeah, these kids, before they play a down of college football, are now going to have six-figure incomes. $30,000 when I was in college would have made me the most loaded guy on campus, so I can't even imagine a six-figure salary as a college student. That's mind-blowing to me. And then you have the Quinn Ewers thing, where I saw an article out today that stated that he might earn more next year than Mac Jones as a first-round draft pick at New England, making $3.4 million as a base salary. That's ludicrous.
Yeah. So I don't want to turn this into like a political discussion that will make people mad, but I'm curious, as someone who, obviously, hey, you're running your own deal here, and you've kind of gotten into this market of franchises and all that. Like, what we all love about America is capitalism. right? And hey, you too can go, if you have your idea and your idea works, you can make as much money. There is no limit to it. But man, do we hate that when it comes to sports, right? Like we support it everywhere, but oh no, hang on. I don't want those players to get paid, and I don't want those coaches to make $115 million, right? Because that makes it harder for my team to win.
Yeah, well, I just feel like they got to earn it a little bit more than that. I've been always one of those guys that I feel like getting a college scholarship, and I played tennis in college. I played very minor league tennis, NAIA, so I wasn't a big recruit at all, obviously. But I feel like the scholarship itself, the training you get, the physical therapy that you get if you're hurt, the doctors, everything that you get as a scholarship athlete, it's a lot of money. It's a great investment that the school is making into you, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars right there alone. So adding this to the mix, I just hope it doesn't spoil them and make them all about me rather than all about team. And that's what my fear is.
Okay, so for those of you watching and listening here, Andy obviously is with myperfectfranchise.net, and he's been with us for a few months now. We've had a few of these chats, so hopefully you're familiar with him. But basically, if you have interest in owning your own franchise and managing that, then Andy is the guy that you need to hit up. And I want to be clear that this is a joke before I say it, so that no one reports Andy to the NCAA. But Andy, which franchises are you hooking Quinn Ewers up with in the next few days in Austin, Texas?
What would you throw that on me, and I haven't even thought about it. Like, what would be funny for him? But definitely a hair salon. I think that the mullet is that shiny mullet that he's got speaks. That's his brand. So I'm going down the salon path with Quinn Ewers, I guess.
Okay, perfect. So if Quinn Ewers signs a deal with the hair salon in Austin, Texas for like $1 million a year, and he is a Texas Longhorn next year, we know where to reach Andy. But in all seriousness, for random non-Quinn Ewers people who are not going to make $1 million next year, but maybe want to kind of better their situation, like I know you've mentioned in the past that certain things get hot at certain times. I mean, what's out there right now is kind of things that are really growing in your line of work, and franchises that you're looking to maybe kind of get people interested in.
Well, I feel like I'm a broken record talking about this right now, but the home services world is just a really safe spot to be in. Everybody is improving their homes, staying in them more. New homes cost an arm and a leg. If you sell your home you're in, you might make a lot of money, but you can't upgrade like you used to be able to because of the cost of homes these days. So the home services stuff, the roofing, the flooring, the painting, insulation, all those things have any remodeling, they've blown up. Not only that, but I love in that model, the floor is pretty high there. It's a commodity service, so everybody needs it. The risk isn't as great in a home services brand. And then you can scale them very easily too, because typically you don't need an office setting. You're not confined to four walls, and you're just adding people to grow your business, adding another crew. You're not having to typically put another building in place to grow your business like you do in brick and mortar. And then just overall costs to get into a home services business, very low, because you don't have those four walls and you don't have a lot of equipment. So I talk home services a lot right now because low risk, high reward, and a commodity type business that everybody is in need of right now.
Okay. So I know we're coming up. Obviously, I mean, we're kind of in that month where normal people are like, sweet, I got a 4-day weekend last week, and then I'm going to get a 5-day weekend coming up here. So what's this time of year like in your line of work? Busier than normal? Is this a little bit of time to relax?
Yeah, I slow down a little bit right now, and it's a good thing. It works out really well for me because I'm juggling family and life stuff too. But just during the holidays, people do tend to close down shop when it comes to looking at new business opportunities. And then once that new year hits, right now it's starting to think, what am I going to do to get out of this rut I'm in, get out of this rat race, the corporate rat race. So maybe it's the New Year's resolutions, whatever. But as soon as January 1 hits, our business really, the franchise world kind of explodes because people are wanting to make that change in their life and not have another year like their last year. So if you are one of those people, let's talk about it now and kind of learn what the process looks like and see if franchising is for you.
I was going to ask, does that make then the next 3 weeks or so? Like actually, if you're looking at maybe doing this, a good time to do it, maybe before everybody else says, hey, January 1st is like a natural time to get started with something new. I mean, is the next few weeks actually a good time for somebody to reach out to you?
Absolutely. I mean, just to talk it through, to see if it's right for you, learn about the process. I'm working. I got my in-laws coming for Christmas this year, so I'm going to work up until the 24th at like 8 p.m. or something like that. But in all seriousness, this is the time to plan and then execute come the new year. It's tough to get out there and be real productive out in the community, whether in your own business or in a franchise right now in December. But it definitely is a great time to plan for the future.
I know any of us that run a business kind of look at January 1st as, okay, new year's starting. What are we going to change? How do we make what we do better? So what's on your radar, man, for 2022? How is My Perfect Franchise gonna change from what it's done in 2021?
Well, I do a strat plan with each of my businesses in the late fourth quarter each year. And really with My Perfect Franchise, what I'm doing differently is I'm just going to be on more rival sports because I love hanging out with all of the members. They're very similar to me. They love college sports. They are somewhat successful. A lot of them are in the corporate rat race like I was, and like to have a beer and maybe outdoor sports, things like that. Just are kind of their passion. That's who I am. So I'm just going to be working a lot more with rivals folks, and I'm actually going to be doing some stuff at spring training this year too in the major leagues. I do a lot of stuff with athletes. So that's what I'm doing at My Perfect Franchise. But with each of my businesses, like I said, I have a strat plan session with my team. And so we've got a list of initiatives for each business on what we're going to conquer or accomplish in 2022 and timelines on when those things are going to get done. And what we do is we'll have a monthly meeting and kind of follow up on that checklist and see where we are on our strat plan each month, make sure that we don't miss anything and just ignore it all year.
Perfect.
What we plan.
I always like to kind of wrap up with you by just giving you a chance to let people know where they find you, how they get started with you, what they can do. So just give your best pitch, man, here for the last, however long it takes.
Well, you can email me at andy@myperfectfranchise.net. My website is myperfectfranchise.net. My cell phone is 404-973-9901. And really, if this is of interest to you, if business ownership, quality of life, freedom, those things are appealing to you, then let's have a talk. Franchising changed my life. I was in the corporate rat race for many, many years, and now I've got unlimited PTO. I've made more money than I could ever imagine making in the corporate world and on an annual basis. And I love the quality of life I have. And it's all because of business ownership. So if that sounds appealing to you, let's talk and let's just see if franchise ownership is a good fit for you at this point in time.
Perfect. Well, Andy, been good working with you all season long, man. I know. I guess now you just got to look forward to next year. I didn't see, but I don't think 4-8 Texas managed to purchase a bowl game for this year. Is that correct?
4-7. No, 5-7. We got 5.
My bad. I accidentally counted the Kansas losses 2 losses. So.
You should.
So no, but it's been great working with you and getting to know you all season, and hope you guys have good holidays and all that, and hope that some people reach out to you.
Yeah, thank you, Gabe. Happy holidays, everybody.